determine your altitude in life. Signed, District Governor. Navjot, fantastic. Continue to make us proud now and be a great, great spirit that you hold to serve humanity. All the very best. It's all yours. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Navjot Singh Sidhu.
Guru ho gaya shuru. Honorable Governor Sahib, men and women of high esteem, it fills my heart with joy unspeakable as I rise in response to a very warm and cordial welcome from you all. प्रेम परिचय को पहचान बना देता है, वीराने को गुलिस्तान बना देता है। मैं आप बीती कहता हूं गैरों की नहीं, प्रेम इंसान को भगवान बना देता है। I will not waste any time. I am here to share a few experiences of my life. I've been asked to speak on courage. So be it. I'll speak on courage. But it won't be something from the books. It won't be something from the computer. If I do that, I'd be cheating you. If I do that, I'd be a gambler. And my dear sir, gamblers are like toilets, broke one day and flush the next. I'd be as confused as a baby in a topless bar. Let me be more frank. Courage. To me, courage is the ability to convert weakness into strength, obstacles into stepping stones, and disaster into triumph. If I have to put it in one line, courage is not the absence of fear. Everybody fears. Everybody fears. I'll complete it later on. Everybody fears. Danveer Karan, the great warrior in Mahabharata, he's being taken to fight Arjuna, and his Sarathi Madra Naresh, he tells him, says, Danveer, तुम एक रणभट्ट रणधीर अजय योद्धा से लड़ने जा रहे हो, क्या तुम्हें भय नहीं सताता? Aren't you afraid that he's an unassailable warrior? Aren't you afraid? And the answer that comes from Danveer Karan is fantastic. It says, Madra Naresh, वो काठ के योद्धा होते हैं जिन्हें डर नहीं लगता. I'm not a wooden warrior. वो काठ के योद्धा होते हैं जिन्हें डर नहीं लगता. मेरा डर मुझे जागरूक रखता है, मुझे सतर्क रखता है, मेरे आत्मविश्वास को कुरेदता नहीं. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the conquest of fear. Conquest of fear. And I've always believed fear multiplies faster than rabbits. I'll put it another way, but different ways of saying things. It's the dark room in which negatives are developed. Negativity kills you. Fear clogs. Faith liberates. I'll take you to a story which will clear the fog. It's something that happened in front of my eyes. Something that I experienced. The great Indian all-rounder, Kapil Dev. 1983 set a world record. Took 9 wickets at Ahmedabad. World record. The whole world was very proud of him. The entire country saluted him. You know, absolutely euphoric, the entire country. And the foreign media invited him for a press conference. Now, Kapil Paji, goodness gracious me, you know, he had his own weaknesses. सोने में सुगंध नहीं, गन्ने में फूल नहीं, चंदन में फल नहीं होता, राजा दीर्घजीवी नहीं होता, विद्वान के पास धन नहीं होता, किसी को मुकम्मल जहां नहीं मिलता, कहीं जमीन तो कहीं आसमान नहीं मिलता. He had his own weakness. कपिल पाजी अंग्रेजी जबान का मर्डर कर देते थे. And you know, in that situation, you know, I gave him a handful of advice. I was a youngster. He would love me. ये शरी पुत्र की करना है? मैं कहा पाजी मीनाक्षी शेषाद्री की पिक्चर लगी है, हीरो, that's a better option. मैं कहा ये प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस गए, बाउंसर बजने, बाउंसर बॉल उत्तो लंगनी है सिर दे, समझ में कुछ नहीं आना. तू क्या समझता? I remember the exact words. If I, you know, distort those words, I'll take the spirit of the man away. He says, सरदार, तू की सोचना है मैं डर गया, वट कर दूंगा, वट. Punjabi, if anybody is there, and he would understand. Vat kar dunga, vat. In my mind, I'm thinking, you don't murder a man who's trying to commit suicide. Anyway, and off we go, my dear sir. Me and Paji, hale and hearty, we land up over there, and suddenly I'm scared. Oh my goodness gracious me, all suited, booted, hep, hi, bye, see ya, maga mar gaye Paji. Any bajde. And the press conference starts. Mr. Kapil Dev, Katak, maga gaye. Mr. Kapil Dev, why can't we produce another Kapil Dev? Why is it that a country of 1 billion cannot produce another fast bowler? Why is it? They couldn't say that dibbly-dobbly Madhi Paji is bowling from the other end, Madan Lal. Why is it that we can't produce another Kapil Dev? Takak, takak, takak. 7th or 8th time, when the question is repeated about the 7th or the 8th time, Mr. Kapil Dev, why can't we produce another Kapil Dev? He gets up. He gets up. He says, ladies and gentlemen. Lady the hai nahi koi Paji. So, he looks at me and he just shoos me off. He says, ladies and gentlemen, my mummy is 62-year-old, my papa is dead, you can't produce another Kapil Dev. See? The kind of rapturous applaud. The press applauded him, I applauded him. And he turned around, he said, Sardar, pucho unhanu aur sawal puchna hai. Main kaha, tonu puch ke marna hai kisi ne sawal? Why would he ask you a question? It's not about education. Education is never received, it is achieved. It's about your thought process. It's about how you handle a tough situation. He came from a very humble background. When English was taught to him in the 9th class, A, B, A for apple, B for balla, C for kutta, D for dollar, he would say, I still remember, But he had the courage to face that situation, which I didn't have. I came from a public school background. My father, very proficient in the English language, would teach me the language. And I never had the guts to face that press conference. In fact, when I was a youngster, if my headmaster told me, Beta Shari, you've got to participate in a declamation contest, I would take chutti from school for the next 3 days. Believe you me, it's a fact. My legs would shake. When I was made prefect in 10th class and I had to say, school disperse, I couldn't say it. I was dispersed. I fainted. It's because I doubted myself. It's because I had that thought process. Will I do it? Will I not? Will I do it? Will I not? Put your hand on the chest. Ask yourself, do you have that feeling? Most of us have that. When you go for a big job, whatever you want to do, you doubt yourself. And that's what kills you. That's what kills you. Virender Sehwag, my favorite. Because uske man mein thought process hai hi nahi. He's in a meditative state. There is no thought process. Believe you me, when you think too much, you kill yourself. Up golf course se jate ho, you go to a golf course, you come out refreshed. Why? Because you're not thinking about your wife. Because you're not thinking about anything else. You are just focused on that white ball. You go to a movie, you come out refreshed. Why? Because there's no other thoughts that clog your mind. You're just one-pointed concentration. That's what meditation is all about. And Virender Sehwag, when I say he's thoughtless, I don't mean that he's empty. No. I mean, the powers of concentration overtake. And I'll give you an example. 2004, my entry into politics, the last thing that I did was commentate with the legendary Imran Khan in Pakistan. And we were commentating, and we were in the strong room. You hear voices from the stumps. There are small microphones installed in the stumps. These days cricket is moving forward. And Shoaib Akhtar realized one thing, that Virender Sehwag doesn't know how to hook the bouncer. So he was bouncing at Virender Sehwag. Katak, one bouncer goes, zoom. Oye mote, he would come up to him. Oye mote, hook marna. Sehwag would just turn around. Next ball, khatak, hits him on the chest. Abbe oye Najafgarh ke kasai. I'm hearing it on the mic. Abbe oye Najafgarh ke kasai. Hook marna. Thapa. Third ball, zoom. He's bouncing at him. Zoom. Oye, Ghochu, hook marna. The third time when he said, oye, Ghochu, hook marna. So Sehwag quietly walks up to him and says, Bhai sahab, aap bowling kar rahe hain ke bheek maang rahe hain? You know? It's amazing. Champions think differently. Your thoughts are the real interpreters of your actions. You are what you think. What is man but his mind? You know, when I talk about these things, Sachin Tendulkar comes to my mind. I can narrate these stories for, times immemorial. I could go on and on. Just, okay, don't worry till you say, oh, your honorable governor is going to get offended. Let's go 45 minutes and then we'll say. So, this is the story of the youngster Sachin Tendulkar in the West Indies. Wet pitch, absolutely wet. It's getting bahut pani pada hua hai. And, I'm praying. Ay yaar, Vaheguru, Sache Pacha, aaj batting mat karwa dena. Samne Curtly Ambrose hai, oh, Walsh hai, bura haal hai yaar. Gilly pitch ke upar batting ho gayi na to, ye to, matlab, jaise bhediyon ke aage kukdi dalne wali baat ho jayegi. Please, God. And suddenly, the information comes. Hazare has lost the toss. Oh my God, I curse him. I said, boss, this is tough. This is going to be very difficult, Negativity surrounding me, my mind on the boisterous sea of doubt. I walk out with Sachin Tendulkar, Kya karenge yaar? Khelenge? I said, khelenge to sahi, gila cricket hai. Dekhna, chalna. The first over, आपको लगता है पता नहीं वो ओवर के बीच में जो बात होती है आपको लगता है पता नहीं क्या टेक्नोलॉजीज डिस्कस कर रहे हैं नो कुछ नहीं ऐसा कुछ नहीं अरे टेंडा यार तू मोटा हो गया थोड़ा अरे मोटा हो गया those things yeah those are the things that we discussed. So I'm talking very naturally to him. So he said, khelna. So the first delivery that I faced, Curtly Ambrose, my goodness gracious me, 6 feet 8 inches, वो side screen के ऊपर से हाथ आता था, came from the skies, Oh my God, it was like that. And the first ball that I faced, puff of mud comes, with the ball. And it hits me here on the chest. Yahan pe laga. Koi baat nahi rahi, Sherry. Tendler is right in front of me. Believe you me, tappa pad ke ball pata hi nahi lagta tha kahan jati thi. I played that 6 ball over. It touched all parts of my body except the bat. Yahan lagi, dhunni mein lagi. And I walk up to Tendulkar. I said, yaar, ye tappa pad raha hai na ball ka. Ball shararat kar rahi hai, yaar. It's misbehaving. Goodness gracious. Okay. The next ball, Bishop is going ball. Bishop, oh my God. You should have looked at those guys. Oh my God. Jitna mera, thigh hai, uska utna dollar hai. Huge guys, huge guys. एक बार तो रात को सपने में आते थे Bishop, you wake up at 12:30, right? I lost 7 kgs on that tour, God damn it. Anyway, so Bishop starts and I'm looking at him, chugging in like a Perkin engine, cut. He's running in. So I'm looking at him, and suddenly I turn around. I look at Tendulkar. Tendulkar's running towards the bowler. He's just running towards the bowler. Bishop bowls. At a point of no return, he just bowls and he takes it on the full toss. And he hits it way out of the stadium, boss. Satak! It just goes zoom, bahar. Khula, I walk up to him. Tendulkar, kya kiya re? Kya kiya? So, tu bol raha tha, tappa pad ke shararat kar rahi, maine tappa hi nahi padne diya, yaar. Bloody hell. टप्पा ही नहीं पढ़ने दिया. Amazing. That's what's courage. 15-year-old boy, year 1989, 15-year-old boy, 15 साल का बच्चा, पहले टेस्ट मैच में bowled out for 0. Second test match 0 and 7. Third test match was dropped. All 3 test matches drawn. I scored 100 in the first test match, And that's Pakistan, 1989. His first trip to Pakistan. And the bowlers, Wasim Akram, Imran Khan, Aqib Javed, Waqar Yunus. Oh my God, Waqar Yunus. 150 kilometers he would bowl at you. 100 and ऊपर से गाली देते थे जो अलग, with the dosage of, that chaste Punjabi feelings that they had were hurled at you like missiles, ball और वो सब झेलो. 3 test matches and then the 4th test match. The pitch is loaded with grass. मूंछों वाला घास है. पूरा भरा हुआ है. It's laden with grass. You could have grazed a few cows and buffaloes on that pitch and they would have survived for 2 weeks. Really. It's just full of grass. That pitch was absolutely obnoxious, And Imran Khan ने आदेश दिया हुआ है कि अगर घास काटा मैं तेरी गर्दन काट दूंगा. In exact words, he told the groundsman अगर घास काटा मैं तेरी गर्दन काट दूंगा. और 4 fast bowlers. 5th day of the test match. We've drawn 3 test matches. We've done brilliantly well. 5th day of the test match. India tottering at 22 for 4. 22 for 4. I'd been very recently married. बुरी हालत है. मतलब यहाँ से निकल रही है गेंद, वहाँ से निकल रही है, कंधे पे लग रही है, लाल हुआ पड़ी है छाती सारी, बुरा हाल. And I'm praying घरवाली को मिलूंगा भगवान के नहीं मिलूंगा, आउट ही करवा दे और नहीं तो get me out of this situation, 22 पे 4 है यार, पता ही नहीं लग रहा है, कुछ समझ ही नहीं आ रही है. And Ravi Shastri is batting at the other end. This is exactly what happened, exactly what happened. There's a real snorter of a delivery from Waqar. उन दिनों में जवान था, बाउंसर मारता था, कहीं पता ही zoom करके just I did this, I ducked, I did this. The instinctive reaction. So Ravi Shastri comes up to me, so very well left Sids. मैं कहा मुझे दिखी नहीं. I just didn't see it. So I was very candid to him. He said, हैं? सक पका के वो चला गया होता था, Next over उसको पड़ा bouncer, खट करके, it hit him on the glove and caught at gully, he's out. Ravi Shastri चला जा रहा है, I'm unlucky, I'm unlucky. I should have gone to a church. I should have gone to a mosque. ये वो करके चिल्लाया जा रहा है. I'm thinking you're the luckiest guy. Boss, तू बाहर जा रहा है और मैं यहाँ झेल रहा हूँ. You're the luckiest guy, I told him. And suddenly, I see Tendulkar walk in. And my eyes light up. मैं क्या गुरु अब बनी बात. ये तो बलि का बकरा है. ये तो आउट होगा. छोटू बच्चू है. ये तो आउट होगा और उसके बाद कौन है यार? कौन है उसके बाद? तो बस कुंबले शुंबले है. साइकिल स्टैंड की तरह एक को धक्का मारो गड़ 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 ठपैक. Gone. I mean, now is the time to think positive. Come on, Sherry, think positive. I'm telling myself, And Tendulkar comes in. First ball is cut into ribbons. 2 or zoom. Andar se gayi. Gaya, boss, gaya. And the next delivery, something weird happens. Something that I've never forgotten all my life. It's etched in my memory. It's a short bouncer, very vicious, quick as lightning, quick as flash. Tendulkar tries to hook. And the ball hits the inside edge of the bat and hits him on the nose. It hit him right on the nose. And he went down like a sack of potatoes. And the first thought that crosses my mind is, mar gaya chora. I Vijender wali bhasha mein mar gaya chora, you see. And he fell dham karke niche. I ran towards him. Believe you me, his nose was totally smashed, out of place. There was blood gushing out, all over his shirt, and he was doing, I thought, bachega, nahi bachega, it was a gory sight, boss. And I shouted frantically, frantically. I said, boss, stretcher. और सामने देखा तो मेरी थूक ही निकल गई. सामने Ali Rani, plump as a partridge. His remedies were worse than Tendulkar's illness. His remedies were worse than Tendulkar's illness. And why do I say that? Because he has 2 remedies, One was Saradon tablet, other was an ice cap that he would put on your head, And he was carrying that ice pack. Mar gaya guru, And he started shaking Tendulkar, putting that Saradon in his mouth. And oh my God, gaya boss. And I'm walking towards the non-striker end thinking, boss, 6 out ho gaye, bachega, nahi bachega. By the time I reach the non-striker's end, I hear a squeaky voice. Tumko Tendulkar ka awaaz pata hai na? It's a squeaky voice. Main khelega. And I just turn around and I look, absolutely flabbergasted. I still can't remember. And I look at him. Naak se rui gir rahi hai aise. Khoon gir raha hai. And he's shooing away, Dr. Ilani. Main khelega, he said. Main khelega. Ali, main khelega. Oh my God. you know, in that situation, अगर मेरे चोट लगी होती तो मैं शाम को 5:30 बजे ही उठता मैच के बाद. You know, I would have never woken up in that situation. You know, and I just look at him and something snapped within me. I said, सरदार जी, तू 28-30 साल का है, वो 15-20 साल का है यार, क्या तू देख तो सही यार, he's prepared to fight for his country and you're thinking about your wife in this situation, boss, कि मिलेगा या नहीं मिलेगा, you know. And वहां पे मेरे मन में वो बात आ गई, जो भरा नहीं है भावों से बहती, जिसमें रसधार नहीं, वो हृदय नहीं है, पत्थर है जिसमें स्वदेश का प्यार नहीं. And I woke up from my slumber. Believe you me, ladies and gentlemen, I knew the next delivery was going to be a yorker, big yorker which is going to hit him either on the toe or the stump. या तो टांग बचाओ या फिर जान बचाओ या फिर डंडे पे लगेगी गेंद. और उसके पहले टूर्नामेंट में मैं भुगत चुका था. I had played this वकार, you know, swinging in, swinging yorker, tried to drive it through the covers, और बाहर से गेंद स्विंग हो गया, लेग स्टंप बाहर. और मैं बाहर जा रहा था जब कपिल पाजी रास्ते में मिले मुझे. सरदार, अंधा हो गया, नजर नहीं आती बॉल. सॉरी पाजी. एंड पाजी गए वहां, लगे पहलवान जैसे खड़ा करके. माइन swung from outside the off stump, his swung from behind the bump. Zoom, ठपाक, डंडा पहली बार, फर्स्ट बॉल खट, वो भी बाहर. जब बाहर आए मैं कुंबले की एनके लेके गया. मैं पाजी ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ दिख रही है, are you seeing it? Khatak, you know, smash. So I knew that Tendulkar is going to face the same yorker. Believe you me, with a splattered nose, he was standing 2 feet behind. 2 feet behind. He anticipated. In that state of mind, he anticipated. And the first ball that he faced after that, 150 kilometers towards him and 180 kilometers towards me, I did this, sup, and the ball went below my legs, tapak, holding pe laga and wapas, khatak, you know. And a pin drop silence when Wakar just came up to him. He said, like that, he looked at him and gave him a solid stare. मेरी तरफ देखता, मैं सूरज चांद सितारे देखता था. But Tendulkar looked back at him. Looked back at him. I have never understood the Marathi language. I don't know. But those words that he said, I have never asked their meaning, because then maybe I would fear saying them. But because it was as it is, whatever he said, I want to tell you what he said. Because you are Maharashtrians, and he uttered those words in chaste Maharashtrian. I don't know what it was, and I still don't know what it was. I've never had the trouble or took the trouble to ask what it is. He just walked up to Wakar Yunus. And Wakar gave him a choicest, all that, you know. And he looked at, he says, butter, tuja aitsa go. I don't know what it means. I don't know what it was. But the exact lines, I'm telling you the exact lines that he said. He said, butter, and, you know, the other thing, Wakar backed off. Ladies and gentlemen, young Tendulkar scored 57 not out. Kharbuze ko kharbuza dekh ke kharbuza rang badalta hai. Yours truly, 97 not out. It's a world record. And it stands till date. Now this is what happens to courageous people. They become achievers. You've got to be a believer first. You've got to be a believer first, and then you become an achiever. You know, doubt creates a mountain, and faith tunnels through that mountain. It just erases that mountain. That's what champions are made of. That's what makes an achiever and a failure. It's just how you tackle that situation. Do you have the tenacity to come out of a difficult situation? Or are you a bechara? You know, sympathy is for the weak, and the weak go to the cooking pot. Don't become a bechara in life. Because the world loves a bechara. जो रो रहा होगा ना, उसके वो पीठ थपथपाएगा, क्योंकि ये तो मेरे से भी गया गुजरा है यार. शाबाश. You know, I hate it. Because those who achieve never point a finger at anybody. Those who achieve take the burden squarely on their shoulders and carry it. They will never ever crib. They will never ever cry. The biggest room in this world, ladies and gentlemen, is the room for improvement. And the biggest disease in this world, दुनिया में सबसे बड़ा रोग, मेरे बारे में क्या कहेंगे लोग. Get out of that disease. Get out of that rut. Just tell yourself, I'm responsible for my actions. I have to lift myself. Why should I compete with others? Why should I pull others down? Why should I abuse others? Why can't I make myself better? Shah Rukh Khan, 4 years ago, met me at the modern school ground. Said, Mr. Sidhu, I love you, the way you hit those sixes and all that. He said, I love you. I said, boss, I adore the way you act in that Fauji serial. He was acting in that Fauji serial, and then there was another one, Circus. I said, what do you intend doing? He said, Bollywood, Mr. Sidhu. I said, Bollywood? Hey, boss, Bollywood? Bollywood mein na tumhara baba actor, na tumhara dada actor, na tumhara family. I mean, they'll eat you like a sausage for breakfast, boss. I mean, how the hell are you going to succeed in Bollywood? He said, Mr. Sidhu, and those words I keep in my heart. He says, Mr. Sidhu, I don't compete with anyone, I compete with myself. And when he turned around and he walked away, setting sun, I knew the sun would rise. I knew that this man would become one of India's finest actors. I was not wrong. Sabhi ko sabhi kuch hasil nahi milta. नदी की हर लहर को साहिल नहीं मिलता. अरे ये दिल वालों की दुनिया है, अजब है दास्तां इसकी, किसी से दिल नहीं मिलता और कोई दिल से नहीं मिलता. How does it matter? How does it matter? How does it matter? It should not matter. It cannot matter. Because those who become accountable to the world are the unhappy ones. And those who become accountable to God within are the happy ones. God within. I say it through experience. And you can challenge me. Sadaji jhoot bolta hai. Bhagwan kidhar hai? Dikha. I'll prove it to you. No, I like people who doubt. I like people who say, main nahi manta. Because until and unless you've experienced him, how do you believe? How do you believe? I'll make you believe. Tonight when you sleep, young, old, anybody, tonight when you sleep, give a command at this energy center where the yogi is concentrated. भारतीय संस्कृति को हम भूल गए, नवजोत सिंह नहीं भूला, और इसीलिए जो थु करता था, बेहोश हो जाता था, आज खड़ा होकर सबके सामने बोलता है. क्यों? क्योंकि उसने अपने संस्कारों को जागरूक रखा है. वो ध्यान लगाता है उस परमेश्वर की ताकत पे. Tonight when you sleep, give a command at this energy center that I'm one with the great power of the great Lord, which lives within me, and I command this body. I'm one with the power of God, and I command this body to wake up at 2:51 in the morning. Ghadi utar ke side pe rakh dena. 2:51 in the morning. Whether you call him Ganapati, whether you call him Vaheguru, whether you call him Allah, it does not matter. God is one. So give a command at this energy center and say, wake me up, O great Lord, your power at 2:51. और अगर आप 2:51 पे बिना घड़ी के नहीं उठे, तो नवजोत सिंह सिद्धू गुरु गोविंद सिंह का सिख कहलाने लायक नहीं. I guarantee you that. That's the power of mind. That's what makes you. And what breaks you? When you try to be someone else. That breaks you. Almost all absurdity of conduct arises when people start imitating others. And when you imitate others, you can never be the other person, and you lose yourself in the process. आदमी खुद को खो देता है. अलग अलग कुओं के पानी का स्वाद अलग अलग है. जो ध्वनि सोने के बर्तन से आती है, वो कांसे के बर्तन से कभी नहीं आएगी. No two individuals have the same fingerprints. I'll tell you a great story which turned my life on its head. The story of Gucci Paji, my coach, diminutive, 5 feet 2 inches. I'm playing, in the year 1987, I'm playing after 4 years of being in the wilderness. Pehla match mera, World Cup 1987, Reliance Cup 87, the biggest event in India. मैंने उतनी बड़ी शोर शराबा नहीं देखा. And before that, we're playing against Pakistan. तो पाकिस्तान के अगेंस्ट खेल रहे हैं हम लोग. तो आपको पता है, लोग सब कहते हैं ऐरा गहरा नथु खैरा, किसी से हारो, पाकिस्तान से नहीं हारना. कहते हैं कि नहीं कहते? It's a fact. Facts will not cease to exist just because they're ignored. And हम लोग ग्राउंड में उतरे. फ्रेंडली मैच है, खाक फ्रेंडली मैच है, हारना ही नहीं. जब हम लोग 15-17 पे खेल रहे हैं. And in those days I had a great reputation. People used to call me Sixer Sidhu. I hated that name. When you translate Sixer Sidhu into Hindi, it becomes Chakka Sidhu. Well, I've got 2 kids. I've got 2 kids and you call me Chakka Sidhu? You know? Huh? So, you know, it becomes ridiculous. But, you know, it came with a reputation. It came with a reputation of Navjot Singh Sidhu being a 6-hitter. I used to hit a lot of 6s. 17 runs I'm batting, and then suddenly this dibbly-dobbly Manzoor Ilahi comes into bowl, you know. And the whole crowd gets up on its feet and said, oh, come on, Sidhu. Buck up, Sidhu. Yes, Sidhu. Wo, Sidhu, you know. Yeah, ताव में आगे सरदार जी मैं कहा देखी जाएगी अब छक्का मारेंगे तो इतनी चक्कर हल्लू सी बॉल डाली and I try to hit it over the top outside edge point पे catch out. Dejected as a wet hen, I'm walking out, boss. मैं बाहर जा रहा हूँ and सामने गुच्ची पाजी खड़े हैं. गुच्ची पाजी 5 feet 2 inches पटका पहन के टोन थोड़ी बाहर है. Just imagine, you know, आंखों में आग लगी हुई है ना. And I walk up. Peripena ji, I said, Peripena sir. Peripena swa. You know, you abuse 10 times in English and you do it once in Punjabi. वो 10 वाली पे भारी पड़ जाती है. और दिया मुझे rocket, you know. He gave me left, right, center in front of everybody. खटा, खट, खटा, खट. ये खेलेगा. ये international cricket है. International cricket जो छक्के छुक्के नहीं बजते. ऐसे खेलना है. होले होले, पोले पोले, ते थल्ले थल्ले. Holle, holle, pole, pole, thalle, thalle. You know, just ingrained in my system. Okay, this is international cricket. I'm not supposed to hit 6s. I'm supposed to play holle, holle, pole, pole, and thalle, thalle along the ground. You know, and the next match, my first one-day international. My first one-day international. 80,000 people sitting in the stadium. 1 lakh people outside the stadium. 1 billion people watching the television. Just glued to the television. You know, not a person bats an eyelid. You know, absolutely. Great occasion, you know. और गर्मी इतनी ground में खड़े खड़े पसीना आए, you know. 260 the Australian score. I take a catch. Not that I caught the ball caught me. It was an accident anyway. People applaud. Oh, मैं कहा पकड़ कैसे लिया? चलो हो गया. Anyway, 262. We're chasing. 262 on man number 3 पे जा रहा हूँ. I'm going at number 3. So, you know, rip-roaring occasion, a glittering extravaganza, good Lord, you know, it's totally euphoric, the waves are going, you know, or Srikanth khel raha hai saath mein, Srikanth and Gavaskar, khatak, you know, he knew nothing but chauka maro bas, you know. 57, the scoreboard reads, and I have changed 4 gloves. Dressing room mein, air-conditioned dressing room mein, 4 gloves badal diye maine. Pasina aaya ja raha hai, kahan se, samajh nahi aa rahi. Vaheguru, 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 I'm chanting, you know. Suddenly Manindra Singh says, Sardar, क्या हो गया? Gavaskar out. हैं? Gavaskar out. I get up. खट 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 टांगे का भी फिर पीछे ठक नीचे भी. Sardar, he shouts again. हाँ, Gavaskar out. आ रहा हूँ. You know. And I quietly walk out. He says, Sardar पागल हो गया. I said, what? एक ही हाथ के 2 दस्ताने लेके जाएगा? Oh my God. I rush back. Yeah, absolutely confused state I am. You know. I take up the other glove. You know, and put it in. You know, खट खट करके. And I walk out. You know. Suddenly the whole crowd gets up. The whole crowd gets up over there, you know. It's an unbelievable sight. I can never forget that sight, you know. Come on, Sidhu, buck up, Sidhu, sixer, Sidhu. You know, and suddenly that changes me. Fresh spirits infused in my wings. I walk out like a general, you know, fresh energy from all over. And I walk out like a general, and I walked out, cut, chodunga. I'm talking to myself, you know, just egging myself on. छड़ना नहीं है गोरियां नो वट कर दूंगा गोरियां दे ये वो you know I'm talking and halfway down the ground the colossal figure of Gucci Paji comes and stands right in front of me holle holle pole pole thalle thalle holle holle pole pole thalle thalle it's like a bust balloon boss you know life ebbs out of me and it's like a bust balloon I stand there I draw the line and I look at the bowler they've surrounded me you know Alan Border sees the yellow streak on my face, you know, he's surrounding me, and everybody's right, left, center. And I'm trying to take Gucci Paji's single. One run kidhar hai? Ye Dean Jones khada hai, ye Mike Valletta khada hai. Jaise baaz aa rahe hai, thap karke glove throw mari naak ke paas hai. Try it, mate. 5 ball, no run. Next over, Srikanth faces. वो तो single लेने में विश्वास ही नहीं रखता था. वो था एक चौका मारा 5 ball यूं की no wait da करके you know and the next over Navjot Sidhu faces the music boss and the same crowd which started yelling come on Sidhu buck up Sidhu started saying woo boo मैं कहा सदा जी तेरी इज्जत का फलूदा आज होने वाला है गुरु. You better take that one run that Gucci Paji wanted. नहीं तो out हो जा, कुछ भी हो, एक रन लेना ही है. And I pushed that ball towards point and I run towards Srikanth. I said, boss, one, come on, run, Srikanth. And he's standing there like a traffic cop. He said, no, wait, da. I turn like a lorry, boss. I turn like a, bad truck, खराब truck होता है ना, वो मैं dive मारी मैंने. Dive मारी जान बचाने के लिए. मरता क्या ना करता. मेरी आंखों में मट्टी, मेरी नाक में मट्टी, सारे चेहरे पे मट्टी, हेलमेट में मट्टी घुस गई. And I'm looking at the umpire. Has he given me out or not? And suddenly, the umpire says, not out. I listen to that not out and something snaps within. मैं कहा भाड़ में जाए गुच्ची पाजी. वाहेगुरु जी दा खालसा, वाहेगुरु जी दी फतेह. Alan Border is looking at me. सरदार में देवी आ गई. क्या हो क्या क्या? I'm looking at said वाहेगुरु जी दा खालसा, वाहेगुरु जी दी फतेह. The next ball that Peter Taylor bowls, I step out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Khatak! It was like a gunshot. Khatak! Gagan Chumbi Chaka. It went so high in the air, it could have kissed an air hostess and come down. I believe you me. It went miles into the air, boss. It just went over the goddamn stadium, into the car park, hit the car. And, they were shouting, oh, shisha toot gaya, ye ho gaya, wo ho gaya. Tarthalli mach gayi stadium mein. Oh my God. 4 overs after that. Navjot Sidhu batting 44. 6 sixes. 2 fours. No single, no double, no triple. Gucci Paji out of the window. Thapak. Believe you me, I scored 42 sixes in that tournament. 5 50s in a row. It's a world record and it stands till date. This is what happens. This is what happens when you back your sixth sense. This is what happens when you back your inner being. Governor Saab, time is over. Bas karu? Governor Saab? Okay. I'll carry on. Okay. Governor Saab? Hey, abhi 5 minutes. Okay. I'll finish it in 5 minutes. Okay. Now, this is what happens when you start following others. When I was commentating, मैंने कभी किसी की परवाह नहीं की. हर्षा भोगले used to tell me, एकदम हल्लू हल्लू, सीधा सीधा commentary करना है. What is सीधा सीधा commentary? If people can't enjoy it, if you become a sleeping pill, is it a सीधा सीधा commentary? I mean, 200 people in front of you and you're 201 walking there. Why do you want to do that? And Jeffrey Boycott was killing me in the first 2-3 days. He was killing me. He was insulting me. भाड़ में गया हर्षा भोगले, मैं अपने आप रहूंगा ना, ऐसी तैसी इस बुढ़े खुसट की, Jeffrey Boycott की, छुट्टी कर दूंगा, I said. And in those days he was trying to woo Shilpa Shetty. So the first time that I commentated with him, he says, oh, what a bright sunshine. Look at this. This reminds me of Shilpa. I said, Sir Jeffrey, Shilpa smiles at you because she thinks you're her father's best friend. That's why. Shocked. Shocked. He says, Mr. Sidhu, he says. I said, what? He said, I just celebrated my 26th birthday. I said, lie. The last time you celebrated your birthday, the candles cost more than the cake, I said. He was shocked. He was shocked. I said, when you lit them up, it was like a prairie fire, boss. It lit the ceiling. They had to call the fire brigade. You're 86 years old. Buddha khusat you are, he said. And in Chest Hindi, on, commentary, I said, Budi Ghodi Lal Lagam. People died laughing. And I just scored every time I spoke to Jeffrey Boycott. I just killed him, with one of those lines, on his bald head. I said, to a bald man, even dandruff is thrill. You can't even have dandruff, I said. Huh? A hair on the head is what's 2 in the brush, I said. Goodness gracious me. He was shocked. He wouldn't know what to say. He was just dead. Absolutely gone, And he took me out for dinner. Mr. Sidhu. I said, what? Mr. Sidhu, I want to have dinner with you. I knew that he was a miser. Taxi wale ko bhi paise nahi deta hai. I said, Sir Jeffrey, you are paying. Oh yeah, I'm paying. Hum log baithe dinner pe. He paid the taxi wala. I was a vegetarian. Kabhi rarely मैं meat खाता था. But उस दिन You know, the costliest dish was lobster, $110. I ordered 2 lobsters. Tapak. ठोको मैं कहा इसको छोड़ना नहीं बुढ़ा पहली बार आया है जो महंगा लगा उसको ऑर्डर किया मैं ठोक दिया you know and you know in the middle of that dinner he says Mr. Sidhu. I said, what, Sir Jeffrey? He said, son, I'm not your son. No, son, no hitting below the belt. He told me, no hitting below the belt. I said, you hit me below the belt, I'll go 6 inches below that. Tell me. He never, ever bothered me after that. Never, ever bothered me after that. Ladies and gentlemen, last thing that I have to tell you, there is nothing easy in life. Nothing easy in life. You know, when I was dropped in the year 1983, जब बुरा वक्त आता है ना तो साया भी छोड़ के चला जाता है. No one stands by you. It's only your parents at that time. You know, I came out of the bathroom one fine morning and I saw my father crying. All my cricket, everything that I've done in my life is a tribute to my father. You know, he was crying. I'd never seen my father like that, a jovial person. I'd never seen him like that, you know. And I just turned around, went to the other room. I was upset, very upset. He left for the court. I came back. I pulled out the newspaper that he'd hidden away from me, you know, under the pillow. I pulled it out. It was the Indian Express, and a man called Rajan Bala had written an article which said, Navjot Singh Sidhu, a strokeless wonder. A strokeless wonder. Believe you me, the press has great power. It can infuse life in a corpse, vice versa. Life in a kicking man can go into his grave if the press wants it. That one article destroyed me completely. I was dropped from the 55 guys that they selected. 55 people that selected. And I was not in those 55 people because of that article. That one incident changed my life completely. कई बार कोई ऐसी घटना हो जाती है जो इंसान के जीवन को तब्दील कर देती है. I would cheat my father every day. He would wake me up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I would go to the other room, sleep. I had given 20 rupees per head to the servants. उनको बोला बताना नहीं, 20 रुपए रखो, दूसरे कमरे में जाके सो जाना, 2 घंटे बाद उठना, पानी वानी डालना शर्ट के ऊपर, वापस बाबा के पास आ जाना. कितने राउंड भागा? 10. अच्छा थक गया, सो जा, फिर सो जाना. You know, I'd cheat him every day. But that day something snapped within me. Something snapped within me. You know, if I was Sardar Bhagwan Singh Sidhu's son, I had to prove it to the world that I was not a strokeless wonder. I took sacred vows. I took water in my Anjali and I dropped it towards the sun. And I said, I swear, oh Lord, I will play for India one day. And I cut that article. I pasted it in my wardrobe. I pasted it in my wardrobe. I latched on. I wept for about 2 hours. I pasted it in my wardrobe. Ladies and gentlemen, from that day onwards, 4 o'clock I would wake up without an alarm clock. I would wake up. I would take the servants to the ground. I would roll the pitch myself. I would water the pitch myself. I would stay in the ground. I did not wear any colored clothing for the next 4 years. I was in the ground. 1 square meal a day I would have. 3 chapatis, sleep for 1 hour, go back to the ground. I would hit 300 sixes every day. My hands would bleed. I had special gloves designed to wear those gloves which would soak the blood. You know, better prevent and prepare than repent and repair. So always wearing those gloves, hitting those sixes day in and day out. And, you know, when I would go at night, there were halogen lamps installed in my backyard. I would still be hitting balls in the middle of the night. I would give my pocket money in the form of chocolates to young kids who would bowl from 16 yards, from 17 yards. They would be bowling at me at Malcolm Marshall's pace because they bowled it from 15 yards. They would hit me left, right, and center. There was no pain. There was no pain that I felt. There was just one pointed devotion. I had to play for India. And in the meantime, my father died. Second year of that rigorous campaign that I'd launched, my father died. Part of me died, but then character is not made in a crisis, it is exhibited. That's what my father used to tell me. And I carried on and on and on to realize a dream that I had basically visualized for myself. And 4 years down the lane, I was picked for the Sheesh Mahal tournament. And after the Sheesh Mahal tournament, the story of Gucci Paji. And after that, the World Cup. And then a big hero. And then I'm going down to Dubai after the World Cup, immediately after the World Cup, after setting the, you know, world record, 5 half centuries in a row. And Ravi Shastri throws a newspaper at me. Says, Sids, check on this. There's something brilliant written about you. I said, what? He says, check the Khaleej Times, boss, front page. Just check the Khaleej Times. I picked up the Khaleej Times. You know, he'd thrown it away. So I just bent down and I picked it up. I still remember the moment I raised the Khaleej Times, there was a big picture of Navjot Singh Sidhu, you know, with my father. And he knew, because I'd narrated it to people, it was with my father. And on top, the same author, the same writer, Rajan Bala, writes, from a strokeless wonder to a palm groove hitter. What a change, what a change. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got nothing to offer you. It's all about blood, sweat, toil, and tears. There is an order of perspiration to every successful human being in life. विजेंद्र को अगर कुछ कहना हो तो यही कहूंगा, सोते हुए शेर के मुंह में हिरन खुद चल के नहीं आता, उसे शिकार करना पड़ता है.
I say this says it all. If there was courage, and courage to be interspersed with humor, I don't think a message could have been given better than this. Navjot Singh Sidhu, you have set the trend of an opening batsman for this conference, and this speaks for itself. You made this conference happen and burn with fire. Thank you so very much, Navjot.
अगर अपनी तरफ देखूं तो कुछ नहीं पल्ले, उसकी रहमत और आपके प्यार को देखूं तो सिद्धू की बल्ले बल्ले.